A lot of people failed CELPIP speaking last year, and the reason, well, there are many, but there are 5 main reasons that we're going to discuss in detail in this video. It's going to ensure that in your exams in 2024, you are not one of those few people who has a low score in CELPIP speaking while other modules are over 9. This is usually a very common problem. Now, if you check the reviews of our students, these are the reviews we've had in the last 24 hours. Just amazing reviews, great words, so thank you guys for your appreciation. These are the reviews from our CELPIP course, which you can find in the description, as well as our live classes. For that, you can contact us in the email in the description as well. We guarantee your scores across the board, and you can see the reviews for yourself. More reviews on our website as well. Now, let's discuss the first reason why people fail in CELPIP speaking, and it's very obvious. It's vocabulary. In 2024, if you're still using basic words like good, bad, sad, instead of things like magnificent, detrimental, or gloomy, if you're still using the former, you're gonna lose marks. You're gonna be one of the many candidates who use the basic words anyway. If you make no grammar mistakes, if you have perfect English, you're still gonna score 8. You're not gonna score 9+ unless you have good vocabulary. Many ways to improve this. You can go to thesaurus.com and check the words that you know, find better replacements of them. In our course in the description, we have a 1-hour lesson and 800 words on vocabulary that dedicates your practice towards improving yourself to advanced words. But right now, we have a free resource for you. Check out the link in the description. 400 best words to use in CELPIP. Practice this word list. This is probably I'm not going to say all you need. There's more that you need, but this will really help you improve whatever score you had before. These words and phrases can be used in writing as well as speaking. So remember, the way you differentiate yourself from other students is if you use better words than them. If you use the same words like them, you're no longer unique and you're no longer advanced, and that is going to hurt you when it comes to your CELPIP speaking mark. Point number 2 is making sentences complex. Now, we have covered, I think, a couple of videos on just complex sentences in CELPIP, but I'm going to tell you one strategy where it's easy. This is the easiest strategy I have explained on YouTube to make sentences complex. You got to remember 3 phrases, or 1 word and 2 phrases. The first one is as well as, the next one is along with, and the third is considering. Now, when I'm making a sentence, for example, I want to make a short sentence. I want to say, I need to buy a lot of groceries today. I'm running out soon. Now, these are 2 sentences I have here. But if I were to connect them, if I say that I have to buy groceries today, considering I'm going to run out of them tomorrow. Now I have made this a complex sentence because I put the word considering in between, and that has divided the sentence into two dependent clauses, or kind of independent. And by making this connection, you're making the sentence long, which means it is a complex sentence, and you have marks for complex sentences. So this is also going to help you in the writing section. Now, if I say I need to do a lot of groceries today, along with working out and doing other things on my schedule as well. By putting along with, I have connected another layer of the story of my daily routine in this sentence, making this sentence complex. Let's try the same thing with as well as. First of all, I'm going to say that as well as is a great replacement for and, because remember, in one sentence, you cannot do more than one and. So if I have to say and again, the next time I'm just going to say as well as. For example, I need to do a lot of work today, and I also got to pick up my grandmother from the supermarket, as well as come home before 8 p.m. So here I didn't say and come home, I said as well as. So it's better to not make it a run-on sentence by using a lot of and it's also going to make it complex if you do that. But another scenario where I don't have to say and, I just have as well as, would be something where I say, this program is really important for my immigration, as well as my dreams to settle and have a good life here. So here, as well as connects the second clause, which is have my dreams and settle here, into the previous clause, making this sentence complex. So make sure you use these 3 things to make your sentences complex and have a mixture of complex and simple sentences. Point number 3, don't say for example or for instance anymore. This is an old thing. This is an old connector. Now everybody is using this. Everybody knows this. What you can say is with the or given that. Remember that, okay? So if I have to say inflation is really rampant these days, for example, grocery prices have increased by, now, I can say inflation has been really rampant these days. Given that grocery prices have gone up by 10%, a lot of people are struggling. Or I could also say with that, I could say, with that, we have noticed the grocery prices having the biggest impact. So instead of, for example, I'm using better words, more advanced, and more importantly, more unique words that other people are not using. Point number 4 is emphasize. This is something that I point out in every feedback I mention. People don't emphasize their words, phrases, or expressions. If you're sounding like a robot, you're not natural, you're going to lose marks in the CELPIP speaking exam. Simple as that. So if you have a sentence where you are making a suggestion, for example, CELPIP speaking part 1, you're saying that, hey, I know you don't like to work out, but it's really important for you because fitness is good for our health. There's no expression here. It's a very dead sentence. Your volume did not fluctuate. Instead, it should be like this. I know you hate working out. I understand it's really difficult for you. However, it is crucial. You need it for your fitness. You need to have these expressions. You need to be natural. In fact, the natural of a native speaker is a little bit exaggerated. Okay, so you have to have that exaggerated version. It's just the same thing when people are taught to go in customer service or sales and they have to kind of fake their personality. You have just 10 minutes or so in the speaking test. For 10 minutes, fake your personality, emphasize, and be more than natural. I would say it's not even being natural. It's a little bit of exaggeration than normal, but there are marks for tone and emphasis, so make sure you execute them correctly. The final thing is the confusion between pauses and fluency. Let's remove this once and for all. When people say, I gotta be fluent, they think they have to talk nonstop. They have to talk without pauses. If you do this, you lose marks. You should pause. Pauses and speaking slow are a sign of confidence. And once again, you are marked on your tone. So keep a note of that. You need to pause at least half a second to 1.5 seconds, in some cases 2 seconds between your sentences, but I think 2 seconds is a bit much. But you have to pause because it gives you thinking time. It shows the examiner your train of thought because you might be jumping to the next point, but the examiner sometimes cannot see that. These are human beings who are marking you. So when you jump to the next point after a pause, it becomes clear it's your second point, and the examiner can follow your structure and flow. It's also important to take a breath and refresh yourself and have a better tone. And it shows confidence, which is important for your mark for tone. Now, fluency is when you get started with a sentence. You want to make sure you finish it or a part of it in one breath, which could mean, it doesn't mean you have to do 10 words in one sentence. It could be a few words. For example, I could say, look, I got to tell you something. I got to go to this place tomorrow. Now, I didn't say the whole sentence without taking a breath. I paused after saying, I gotta tell you something. It's one little point in the sentence. So if I can do one clause without a breath, without stopping for a breath, I should say, that's good enough. That's my mark for fluency. The examiners and nobody in this world, even in day-to-day life, expects you to do a long sentence without taking a breath. So you make sure you take your breath with your pauses, but when you say that clause, you are fluent. You're not hesitating, you're not repeating, you're not stuttering, and more importantly, you're not saying So avoid the fillers as well, like Okay, so understand that difference between pause and fluency, and both are important to hit a good mark in CELPIP speaking in 2024. And once again, if you want to get good reviews, good scores, just like our students you saw earlier, check out the course in the description. You can also reach out to us for any questions you have. For now, also, what I'd like you to do is check out that link with the 400 words for your exam. Practice them as well, and we'll talk very soon. Take care, guys. Please like and subscribe as well. It really helps out our channel.